Well, good morning. It's Tuesday morning, and this morning we read from Luke 7 1 through 10. After Jesus had finished all his sayings in the hearing of the people, he entered Capernaum. Now, a centurion had a servant who was sick and at the point of death, who was highly valued by him. When the centurion heard about Jesus, he sent him elders of the Jews, asking him to come and heal his servant. When they came to Jesus, they pleaded with him, earnestly saying, "He's worthy to have you do this for him, for he loves our nation. He's the one who built us our synagogue." And Jesus went with them. When he was not far from the house, the centurion sent friends, saying to him, "Lord, do not trouble yourself. I'm not worthy to have you come under my roof. Therefore I did not presume to come to you. But say the word, and let my servant be healed. For I too am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. And I say to one, 'Go,' and he goes, and to another, 'Come,' and he comes. And to my servant, 'Do this,' and he does it." When Jesus heard these things, he marveled at him, and turning to the crowd that followed him, said, "I tell you, not even in Israel have I found such faith." And when those who had been sent returned to the house, they found the servant well. This is a striking story, mostly because of who's involved. Roman centurions were not very popular among the Jews. If you were a centurion, you were in charge of a group of soldiers, and centurion means 100. But it could have been anywhere from 80 to several hundred people. So he was an officer of Rome and had considerable authority over soldiers and thus over the people around him. And yet we read that he built their synagogue. So he was a guy who enjoyed living in Capernaum. Now, Capernaum is a seaside town on the edge of the Sea of Galilee. So it's, a waterfront place and a fairly large town for those days. And so it was a good place to be, and he liked living there. He built their synagogue, it says. So he had some means, some wealth. Rome wouldn't have paid him terribly well, but he had some money from somewhere. And he valued this particular servant very highly and sent to Jesus to have Jesus come to heal him. It's interesting, too, he sent elders of the Jews to Jesus. So they would have known who Jesus was, and they would not have been particular fans of Jesus. But he sent them and said, "Go get this Jesus guy." So they do, and they plead with him, "Please come, because this man's important, and he's done these things for us." And so Jesus says, "Okay, I'll go," and starts following. And then these other people come and say, "Don't even bother to come. Just say the word, and he'll be healed," because, the centurion understands about authority, and you have authority, so you can just heal him from here. And Jesus is kind of amazed. He said, "I haven't even found faith like this in Israel. And here's this foreigner who has that kind of faith. Wow." And when they go back, they find this servant is healed. So Jesus has healing power that goes beyond what we might expect. He doesn't have to be physically present and touch you. He can just heal you from a distance, as it were. And still does if you ask. Now, there's some people that have been praying for my vision for quite a while. You probably may not know this, but I've got a vision deficit over here on the left side of things. It makes it difficult to see everything I'm looking at and impossible to drive. So people have been praying for my eyesight to be restored. Well, so far, nothing has changed. It's nice to have people praying for me, and so all of that is good. It's just that nothing has changed to date. So if if you have some ailment and something is wrong and you want to pray, pray about it and see what God does, see what God says, because Jesus comes and he finds faith and he's excited by the faith that he sees, and he wants people to be well and to be whole, and that's a part of his love for us, and so he wants to see us made well and made whole. So pray about those things. Think about that today. Think about what it is that you're living with that he might take away. What is it you're living with that you might not take away and you might have to learn to live with, which is also an opportunity for some spiritual growth. Think about all of that today, and have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.